The Galactic Council called it an act of cosmic treason. Mankind had concealed fusion lances inside civilian freighters, had seeded its own cities with orbital strike arrays, and worst of all, had begun to speak the forbidden word sovereignty. For that sin, they exiled humanity from the stars. High Chancellor Elias Varn stood alone on the observation ring of the last Terran orbital fortress, the Citadel Invictus. Through armored glass thick enough to withstand a nova, he watched Earth turn beneath him. A wounded blue marble, still beautiful, still defiant. Behind him, Commander Torin Vale, his oldest friend, and the man who had once commanded the entire Terran Navy, spoke in a voice like grinding steel. They think they've killed us, Elias. They truly believe isolation is death. Elias did not turn. His eyes traced the scars of old mining megastructures across the Pacific. The blackened ruins of the lunar shipyards, the silent orbital rings now dark. They are wrong, he said at last. Death would have been merciful. He turned then, and every officer in the chamber felt the temperature drop. From this moment forward, Terra ceases to exist in their records. No trade, no diplomacy, no pleas. We vanish so completely that the galaxy forgets the shape of our ships, the sound of our voices, the color of our sun. He stepped forward until the starlight carved his face into something ancient and terrible. Then, when they are certain we are dust, we will remind them why mankind once made gods nervous. A ripple passed through the men, engineers with oil still under their nails. Admirals who had watched their fleets burn, miners who had clawed a living from the bones of asteroids. Every one of them felt the same thing, not despair, recognition. Lieutenant Gavrik, youngest man ever to command covert intelligence, stepped forward. The outer belt is already ours, sir. Council patrols sweep Vega once every 41 days. We have windows. Elias placed a hand on the younger man's shoulder and let the first window open tonight. That night, 1,000 silent ships, blacker than space itself, slipped from hidden docks and scattered into the dark, like seeds hurled into fertile night. In the cockpit of one battered mining shuttle, 23-year-old pilot Joran Kane looked back once at the shrinking blue world and whispered to the void, "This isn't the end. This is the beginning they will never see coming." High above, Elias Varn watched the last running light disappear and allowed himself one sentence. Spoken so quietly only the stars heard, not luck. Someone wanted us free. 37 years passed in the dark. The council grew fat and comfortable in mankind's absence. They told themselves the human problem had solved itself. They were wrong. Deep in the Kuiper graves, inside asteroids the size of small moons, men built miracles with bleeding hands. Engineer Captain Dren Salvak welded the final plate on a reactor that should not have worked. It did. Halric Morrow, master miner, and the man with the strongest forearms in the system, slapped him on the back hard enough to crack ribs. That is enough juice to push a frigate to the galactic core and back without a single refuel. Dren wiped frozen sweat from his beard, because the core is exactly where we're going. Eventually, they spoke little. Words were a luxury when every breath tasted of recycled air and every heartbeat echoed in vacuum. But at night, when the work lamps dimmed to blood red, rough voices rose in song. Old Earth songs, drinking songs, war songs. Songs that carried the memory of green fields none of them had ever seen. On Station Obsidian 7, Lieutenant Gavrik watched drone swarms strip an Iron Mountain bare in ours. His encrypted channel to Elias carried 7 words. Phase 1 complete. No signatures detected. Ilias's reply was immediate. Then begin Phase 2. Deeper, darker, forever. And so the Shadow Empire grew. Asteroid forges, moon shipyards, listening posts hidden inside cometary ice, training grounds where boys became wolves inside a single year. Every man carried the same quiet conviction. We were not abandoned. We were unchained. Year 53 of exile. Commander Toron Vale led 3 black-holed frigates into the Zathar Expanse, a region of space so hostile the Council had declared it non-navigable and moved on. Inside the lead ship, pilot Joran Kane flew by instinct alone, hands dancing across manual controls while radiation alarms screamed. Engineer Dren Solvik monitored shields that flickered like dying embers. Torin's voice was calm granite. Tempest fields in 30 seconds. Trust your brothers. They trusted. They survived. And in the heart of the storm they found it. A Therian battle station the size of Manhattan, dead for 8,000 years, drifting like a cathedral carved from night. When the boarding teams cut through airlocks frozen solid since the fall of an empire, every man felt the same electric jolt. The station still had power. Dren ran scarred hands across alien consoles that flared golden beneath human touch. It's accepting our command codes. Like it was waiting. Torrin stared through a viewport at the endless dark beyond, like something older than codes was. Within 6 months, the derelict became Fortress Erebus, a shadow citadel bristling with weapons the Council had never catalogued. Its corridors echoing with the footsteps of men who had learned to make the impossible routine. From Erebus, mankind's reach lengthened into sectors marked here. There be monsters on every alien chart. And still, the galaxy saw nothing. Year 61. Station Vonage 12 hung above a newborn pulsar that decided, without warning, to scream. Shields collapsed. Radiation knives carved corridors. Men died in seconds, flesh flash-cooked inside armor. On the engineering deck, Dren Salvok fought the reactor with bare hands while blood boiled from his ears. Manual valves. Reroute everything through auxiliary. Joran Kane, helmet spider-webbed, rerouted power conduits with teeth clenched so hard they cracked. We are not dying here. Tornvale's voice cut through static from the relief frigate burning toward them at suicidal speed. Hold fast. Hey, brothers. Help is coming. They held. They bled. They lived. When the storm passed, Vantage 12 still drifted, scarred, silent, unbreakable. In the med bay, men clasped forearms and wept without shame. One young engineer looked at the pulsar through a cracked viewport and whispered the words every survivor now carried. Not luck. Someone wanted us to endure. Year 109. Chancellor Orion Vale, son of Torrin, chosen heir of Elias, stood on the bridge of the dreadnought Astra Valkyrian when the impossible happened. A ghost's signal pierced every layer of encryption known to man. His father's voice. From a colony erased 12 years earlier, Orion, if you can hear this, Rune. Commander Elix Ward, Orion's oldest friend, went pale. That colony had no survivors. Orion's knuckles whitened on the rail, set course for the Amaran Reach. All haste. Elix hesitated only a heartbeat. That graveyard is cursed. Brother, then we will be the curse that ends it. Graves of light, the Amaran Reach was a halo of shattered metal and frozen corpses. The Valkyrian shuttle touched down on the ruined command spire. Inside, emergency lights still flickered after 12 years of death. At the heart of the ruin, a single transmitter pulsed with living power. Torrinvel's voice filled the chamber. Live impossible. They will come to erase this message. They always do. Quietus is not after planets. They are after memory. Reality tore. Edis hunters phased into existence. Tall, faceless, vibrating like broken holograms. Orion raised his rifle. Valkyrian, this is Vale. Send us hellfire. The battle lasted 90 seconds and felt like 90 years. Then the golden light came, not from a reactor, not from a weapon. From beneath the cracked floor, warm, ancient, alive. The hunters recoiled as if burned by dawn. Orion felt it in his bones, a presence older than physics, steady as a heartbeat. You were meant to witness. The ruined spire vanished, taking the hunters with it. Back aboard the Valkyrian, EVA-9 spoke in a voice no AI had ever used, Chancellor. The phenomenon predates known cosmological constants, Elix whispered, in human words. It is older than creation. EVA-9 reconstructed the golden web, threads of light stretching across the galaxy, marking every moment creation itself had reached out and touched a species. Every thread ended in extinction, except one. The human thread burned brightest. Orion understood. Humanity did not discover the first memory. Humanity carried it. In every synapse, in every dream, in every stubborn heartbeat that refused to die. His father had died to protect that truth. Now it was Orion's war. Beyond the galactic rim lay a scar in space. A hollow thousands of light years wide where something enormous had burned its memory into reality itself. The entire Terran armada arrived like judgment. Quietus came by the millions, silent, phasing, inevitable. Their message was pain. Do not remember, the beginning is not for you. Turn back, ORB, unmade. Orion opened galaxy-wide broadcast. His voice carried through every channel, every language, every frightened heart. You cast us into darkness to break us. Instead, you taught us how to see. Why Thesis guarded a lie for 14 billion years. Today that lie ends. We're not children of Earth alone. We are children of the first dawn, and we claim our right to remember. Golden light erupted from 10 million human souls. Not a weapon. Recognition. Quietus shattered like shadows at sunrise. Their silence ended in a scream that never sounded. When the light faded, the guardians of the great forgetting were gone. Only mankind remained, bathed in the glow of creation's first heartbeat. Orion Vale stood on the open deck of the Astra Valkyrian, the golden memories swirling behind him like living starfire. He spoke the words that would echo through history. You exiled us. We simply went home, to the stars. Remember this day. Remember us. The council knelt. Ancient empires bowed. Species that once voted for mankind's extinction now begged for the protection of the same banner that had once flown in shame. And in the quiet aftermath, Orion Vale stood alone beneath a sky that no longer felt indifferent. He whispered the sentence every man in the fleet now carried, carved into his bones. Not luck. Someone, something, wanted us to live. Someone wanted us to remember. And now the universe will never forget us again. The golden light pulsed once more across the void. Warm, ancient, alive, as if the cosmos itself exhaled in relief. Humanity had not built a fleet. It had awakened an empire older than empires, forged in exile, tempered in darkness, crowned in light. The age of mankind had only just begun.